Hi there, this is Ansu, and we are on episode 18 of What's in the Box with Lily B. I've been catching up lately with a couple of things that I wanted to talk about and share with you. And in this one, I'm going to talk about the Jesus and Coffee and Gratitude project that we launched last year during November, or we started in November. And I just want to walk you through the full set of pages that I've created so far. And I am on my third little journal, actually my fourth journal cover, and I've been creating a couple of these covers ahead. And if you're interested, the travel notebook class will be back later in January with some new ideas and things. And this project has really inspired a lot of new creativity and ideas with me. And so you can expect perhaps later this year some new prompts and some new kits in this range or in this on this topic. And what I'm going to do today also is to just share with you a couple of ideas about process. The process is important in terms of developing your creativity and changing it up. Introducing change in the way that you do things is very important. So every couple of weeks, I would just change what I'm doing with these kits. Um, I started out creating backgrounds and working with a lot of pockets and bulking up these journals. So I had to split November into two journal covers because it was just too much for one. But I really enjoyed the bulk as well. And creating different kinds of pockets, every time changing that up, how I place it on the page, also helped me create unique spreads each time. And then there are a little bit of extra things that I added here and there in I think that was in the last week of November. I decided to kind of add to the single page kit some of the elements from the Jesus and Coffee range, but that's not necessary. Each page has enough for a double spread in your travel notebook, so you can just stick with that. The last page there, you could see I kept it simple. I just used the paper kit. So what I've been doing is also thinking about the organization of my process. Where do I start? And I think the moment that you start thinking that things are kind of set in stone, you always have to do it the same way, then you are going to lose out on creative growth. So I think for me, what helped in this project is to think out of the box, change things up consistently, using different elements and things, using vellum, um, creating backgrounds first and then later on deciding to do the paper first and then adding to the background, because you can do that. That has helped me progress with this project and stick to it, because I think a lot of people will sign up and say, hey, I will do 120 days, and then after the first couple of weeks they kind of give up because it's too much effort for them, or they're not organized enough, or they're not prepared to walk the distance with this project. But I've been really kind of sticking with it because I'm not placing a lot of strain on myself that I have to do it a certain way. I can go with the flow every time I do it in a different way, and it's okay. There's no requirement for me to impress anybody or to stick to the process in a specific order. And that has really blown new life into the way that I do things. So I've used a lot of different approaches in this project, and that has kept me going thus far. Sometimes I leave pages open, and I want to suggest that you do that. Sometimes I leave a layout unfinished, like I did with some of these pages. I left some of the artwork for later on when I have time. Then I can sit and add watercolor and color things in. So you always have something to do when you sit down with your journals. That's kind of the reason why I do it that way, but it's also part of my dream book prayer journal process, where I would leave out spots so that I can come back on purpose at a later stage, add more scripture, add my prayers and dates to things, and see how God is kind of walking with me throughout the process of prayer journaling. Then I decided not to create or design my own journal this year, and I'm just using a very simple weekly planner that is from Christian Arts or Christian Book Arts. And I will link it down below. I think you will be able to find it at P&A or at Coom Books locally. And really loved the title, and I'll tell you about that some other time. Then the significance of the December journal, our Christmas Club journal, has been a really fun element that we add to our Christmas Club experience. And I'm just walking you through. We're doing postcard swaps and doing a lot of listing. And there's a whole prompt set that's new every year. And I have been using this time during the holidays to prep my journal for all of those little journaling spots that I want to fill in later on, and adding all of the prompts and tickets to it. Then we have a weekly spread that we do where we document daily, and I have been keeping that up the last 2 years, and this will help you if you're doing memory keeping later on. You have the story. So what this journal helps you do is just jot down the little stories and little moments of every day, things that happen that we tend to forget later on. You might take a photo, but you don't have the story to remind you what happened. So now you do in this journal. Then we did a movie night with lovely little lady Audrey Hepburn, and she was a beautiful fashion icon, and I loved adding her to my journal. And then we've got bucket lists and things for Christmas. And I've taken off the pressure of myself to feel like I have to complete this during the December holidays. The idea is to document the daily stories and then just have fun in the rest of the journal. So I like coming back to this journal again and again. And I've been doing that for the past 2 years. And perhaps this journal will have some space for a third year. And I think that would be a wonderful way of documenting December holidays without placing too much stress on yourself. Then we pop over now and we're going to just look at all of the final kits that I've created for the Jesus and Coffee collection bundle. And I feel like I've left the best for last. Surita has seen these and she says it's like you've kept all the great kits for the very last couple of weeks. And I think the thing is that I'm getting in the groove with designing them. So I'm upping the game every time I design a set of these. And I design about 2 sets in one session. So it's taken me some time to finish 120 days, but I've done that now. I'm finished. And the last 2 sets will be released later in January. The rest is already up and running in the shop. And you can definitely see that a lot of these have got some extra elements in them that I didn't use earlier on, and I've tried to really change it up for you here at the end of this project. But I'm thinking that I'll probably come back and revisit this project later on in the year, perhaps create my own prompts and just give you another opportunity to dig into the topic of gratitude. So we'll see what this year brings. I'm still in the planning phase of projects and things, but really still happy, very happy with journaling out with these kids every day, and being a little bit more organized will help you stick it through. And we will celebrate once we've reached the number 120. And even if it's more than 120 days that it's taken you to finish it, that's okay, because the pressure is also not on you to do this every single day consecutively, but to do it as a daily habit as much as you can. Sometimes I sit and I do a week's worth of creative spreads and just prepare for the journaling so that I can just sit at the end of the day, take 5 minutes and journal out my gratitude and add my scriptures of the day. And so you can see I've been filling these up. Hopefully there will be around 5 to 6 of these journals in total. There are enough designs in the Journal Love kit for you to do that. And I hope that you have found some value in this. Leave me a comment down below and let me know if this project meant something to you. I hope to see you in the next one soon.